Hey, what's up, lightboltjoe here. Today we're going to discuss the 2010 animated feature special. That was a TV special. The Elf on the Shelf, an Elf story. So this is based on the Elf on the Shelf book and then toys moving forward. That is very much a Gen Z thing. I'm a millennial, so this was the generation right after me. This film internationally came out in 2010, and then the special premiered on our shore, if you will. October of 2011, November of 2011, November of 2011. And so the Elf on the Shelf franchise has been a massive success in regards to toys and books and shorts and specials and things, right? Never got into it because it wasn't my generation, but I'm watching it now. Didn't have any expectations for it. I knew basic principles that these toy elves are Santa's spies, basically, and they report back to the North Pole each night to tell Santa if the kid was bad, if the kid was good, kind of a thing, right? And then each night the elf magically appears in a different part of the house that a parent obviously is going to be moving to keep up the Christmas magic. And if you touch an elf, then the elf dies, magic is dead, no more elf. And it's a morbid but entertaining thing. That's the only bit I knew. So watching this starts out pretty much that same premise, right? And then this main elf, who's then named Chippy by this family, is going back and forth to the North Pole. Older brother Taylor doesn't believe, so he pokes Chippy. Chippy falls. Chippy's dead, but he's not actually dead. It's just his magic is gone. So his elf friends find him in the snow ditch and then bring him back to the North Pole. And Taylor's sisters are desperately upset and panic and Mom, Dad, Taylor killed Chippy and all these things, right? So it's a very interesting story when you bring fear into children. And that's pretty much what religion does in regards to bringing fear into elders and people of all ages, for that matter. But when you're given specific rules for a kid and then the kid inadvertently, accidentally touches their elf, I've seen so many stories of the parents having to deal with absolute anxiety-driven, pain-stricken kids having panic attacks. They killed their elf. So I don't agree with that one little aspect of keeping the kid in line, if you will. I don't like that part. But everything else about this particular 24, 25-minute long special is incredible. I didn't know full amounts of the story. I know the gist of it, but the way that the story was presented, Act 1, Act 2, Act 3, wonderful. Fast-paced, character development. There was songs, there was singing through this. I didn't expect it. I didn't know it was a musical. This sounded like it was more of a stage production, like a musical on a stage. Didn't sound like it was a musical for TV kind of a thing. It sounded like it was a musical for a stage. The way that the tone, the way that the musical arrangement was put together, it just felt Broadway rather than TV. And I'm very impressed because it's very hard to do that. It's very hard to have that particular aesthetic, that particular vibe, that particular sound. And whoever did the music for this did an incredible job with the songs, music and lyrics. I was very impressed on how it was an actual musical. It helped progress the story further. It elevated as a musical is supposed to do. I had no expectations going into this. My expectations were blown out of the water. And I actually got choked up and teary-eyed at one point, which again, did not expect at all by watching this Elf on the Shelf and Elf Story special from 2011, from 2010. Didn't expect it. It got to me. It got to me when Taylor's sisters are singing about the magic of Christmas and it's a time for forgiveness and that's why we believe and all these things. And Taylor's crying on the steps and I'm crying on the couch and I'm like, what is happening right now? What is happening right now? Didn't expect it. Absolutely wonderful. Kudos to whoever did this. Kudos to the original creator of this. I think it was a mom who just wanted to do a Christmas thing for her kids and two birds in one stone. Do Christmas tradition stuff, but also how do you get them to keep behaving well-behaved, keep them well-behaved. That way there's no problems then Christmas Day. So again, my only little concern is you touch the elf, the magic is gone, the elf can die, blah, blah, blah. It's too morbid for Christmas, but everything else is wonderful. Elf on the Shelf, an Elf story. On to the next review. Mahalo.